Thomas here with Much Props. Going to give you another how-to video. Today we are once again working on the full cosplay for our Fallout build, and I have made the chest plate, the pauldrons, and I figured I'd work my way down the arm. Now obviously on one side will be my Pip-Boy and the other side could be a bracer, could be a power fist, which I've already built, but I thought I'd go ahead and build out a bracer just in case some of you were trying to build along with me. That way you'd have something templated out already, and if they want to confiscate my power fist at a con, I can have a backup plan. So today I am going to make a bracer for my sturdy metal armor from Fallout 4. Let's get to building. So let's start off by pointing out the obvious. I made a bracer for the wrong arm. Don't know if you noticed it, but the Pip-Boy goes on your left arm, so you can fix that by tracing the template face down. Really, it'll fit either way you go. I traced my pattern onto some 6mm What the Foam, which makes one sturdy bracer. Heat form it with a little curve that will fit onto your arm. Glue the two parts together with some contact cement, and like the rest of my sturdy armor, I have to make the edges jagged. Just take a box cutter and gouge out the sides. Also cut in some deep V-grooves for heavy battle damage, and I also used my Dremel to rough up some random areas of the surface. For the wrapping around my arm, I used some 2mm WTF and traced out where the bracer would line up on it for glue up.
Originally I was going to make this Velcro on, but I decided that it wasn't necessary. I could just slide my arm in and out. So I trimmed the strapping to fit my arm, put down some contact cement, and permanently attached the two sides together. I cut some 1-inch strips and spaced them out on the back for extra detailing. I was able to see it on the in-game character and the model when you look at the individual item itself. It has what looks like a dial on a triangle, and I'm assuming that is how you tighten the straps onto your arm, so I'm just going to cut it quickly out of some 4mm foam. Two coats of Plasti-Dip, then a light coat of silver spray paint. To dirty it up, I brushed on some slightly watered down Plat-Effects black and brown acrylic paint, then I wiped off the high points with a paper towel. For the rust effect, I'm using some Modern Masters Rust Metal Effects. It is a 3-step paint treatment, a primer layer, an iron layer, and a rust activating spray. This is the same treatment I've used on the other builds for this cosplay, and the results are always awesome. Once it all dries, I go back and darken up the cracks again, dry brush edges with some silver paint, and hand paint the straps with some brown paint to simulate leather.
And we are finished. Here is the end result. I'm super happy with the way it turned out. I had intended on making it Velcro like the other parts that I've made, but I figured as long as I could narrow my hand up, I should be able to fit it in there pretty well, and it does. You obviously need to size this to your forearm. That's why I kind of just showed you how I did the strapping and not necessarily templated out that piece, because it's going to be a different size for everybody. But the rust effect on this is super cool. Modern Masters has some awesome products, and this one in particular, their rust effect, is by far my favorite. I've tried some of their others, and this one just really sells it because it's putting actual rust onto your prop. And with the WTF, it is super, super sturdy. I know that it's not going to bend or break, or, I mean, this is only 6mm, and it is, I mean, it's solid. So maybe you will try and make one of these bracers yourselves and impress your friends with your ability to make foam armor with rust on it and fake leather strapping, and maybe fool a couple of people. I mean, I know some gullible people. Maybe you'll get some.
Yay!
And inevitably, they're going to ask you, how'd you make that? You can give them one of these. Tell them, much props. I'm going to test out the durability of this thing here. Here you go. 1, 2, 3!